Hey guys, Roland Armio with Safe Financial. If you are within 5 to 10 years of your target retirement date, this may be the most important video that you'll see online regarding this particular topic. And if you have a financial advisor and you've been with them for years, chances are they have not talked to you about this topic, because this is one topic that most financial advisors avoid like the plague, and with good reason, for their own self-interest. But if you're coming into retirement after years of savings, this is a very, very important topic. And what I'm talking about is what they call sequence of returns risk. Right? Through the years of saving, you've got the accumulation phase and the distribution phase of retirement. When you're saving your money over the years, the strategy tends to be what they call dollar cost averaging. What does that mean? That means that during the years when you're contributing to your 401k, when you're making deposits on a regular basis, every month money's going in there, whether the market is up or down. During the accumulation phase, during the saving phase of your retirement saving, whether the market's up or down, the market is your friend. What do I mean? If the market's up, obviously that's the goal. You want your average rate of return to be high. But at the same time, when the market is down during those years, it's also your friend because everything's on sale. So you get to buy more of those shares while the market's down because you're still contributing to it, right? So you're making deposits into your 401k, your TSP, or whatever IRA account you may be saving into. Dollar cost averaging works in your favor because, again, when the market's up, your rate of return is there. When the market is down, you get to buy it on sale. Over the years, I'd say in the last 25, 30 years, for the most part, the market doesn't go up in a straight line, but it goes kind of like this, right? It's going to go up and down, but for the most part, most financial advisors look like heroes in the last 25, 30 years. So if your 401k balance is going up, a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're consistently making deposits, and dollar cost averaging is working in your favor. The goal with most financial advisors is your rate of return. So everybody looks at it, and if you take two people contributing the same amount of money over the same amount of time, during the accumulation phase, they can have different returns each, but if their average rate of return, let's say, is 11%, regardless of what happens in the market, if their average rate of return is the same, they end up with the same amount of money at the end. Now, subsequently, when the market, or when you go into your retirement phase and you get past this point, what happens? At this point, the paycheck stops, right? There's no more checks coming in. Now you have to live off of whatever you accumulated on this side. You bring it over here, and now you're going to spend that money. And you obviously have to spend it wisely, whether you have $500,000 or $2 million. You know that since the paycheck stopped, that's a finite amount of money that you're going to have to draw from to live off of. You'll have your savings, you'll have your Social Security income, pension if you're lucky enough, but somehow you have to create an income plan once the paychecks stop coming. where sequence of returns risk comes into the picture is studies have shown that this period right here, in the early stages of retirement, the person that experiences negative returns in the early years is likely to run out of money or come close to running out of money compared to a guy that happens to retire when the market is up. Now, obviously, everybody wishes the same thing, that the market is always up. But if you happen to be the unlucky guy that retires and the market's down the first couple of years, your trajectory is not going to be anywhere close to this guy, even if you ended up or started up with the same amount of money in the beginning. And on a different video, I'll show you an illustration to show you how that works. But for the most part, here's the thing you have to remember. Losses early in retirement become permanent because here you were making deposits and you were buying things on sale. It's working in your favor. But once you get in this stage of the game and you're spending that money, the best way I can explain it is like your house, okay? If your house is $500,000 and the following year it takes a dip, the market drops, and all of a sudden your house is only worth $350,000. If you started at $500,000 and a year later your house is only worth $350,000, did you lose the $150,000? Some of you guys will say yes, some will say no. The answer to that is no, because you didn't sell. Right? The loss on the house is a paper loss. It's not permanent unless you sold the house. Well, that's what happens here. But once you get into the distribution or the spending phase, the market losses become permanent. It's like you selling your house when it dipped to $350,000. Now, most people won't sell if the market is down unless they have to. And when you get to this stage, you now have to. The only solution to sequence of returns risk is to have another source of income or another source of money, a different bucket that is not tied to the stock market. Now, if you have a 401k, that's going to be tied to the stock market. You're hoping that that keeps growing through the years so you can have a very good, comfortable retirement. But because it's not guaranteed and nobody has a crystal ball, one of two things need to happen at the end or during the retirement phase. Either you have guaranteed money coming from somewhere that's not tied to the market, or you have another bucket of money that's not tied to the market that you can draw from. Now, you might say, well, I can just put aside some money that's not in the market. The problem with that is that when you have money that's not tied to the market, if it's just sitting in a savings account, with the way the debt is at $38 trillion, inflation is going to eat up your savings account like you're going backwards, as if you were losing to the market, because you are going to go backwards if you're not keeping up with inflation. So the solutions are there, and depending on your situation, we'll be happy to help you with that. Again, my name is Roland with Safe Financial. If you want to solve the sequence of returns risk before it's too late, give us a call, 985-464-9595. Happy to help.